This is the new Macan, the latest chapter in Porsche's quest to become more than just a maker of admittedly brilliant luxury sports cars. As you can see, it's an SUV, smaller than the Cayenne and based on the Audi Q5, but importantly, all the bits you can see and touch are pure Porsche. In fact, they say it's got the soul of a sports car. Well, we're here on its home turf in Leipzig to find out if that really is the case. The Macan range is headed by the Turbo model, which features a powerhouse 3.6 litre twin-turbo V6 engine that produces a heady 294 kilowatts of power. In an SUV that's smaller by about 150 millimetres than its Cayenne big brother, that results in vast amounts of acceleration. Porsche claims the Macan Turbo will hit 100 kilometres an hour from standstill in 4.6 seconds, and you'd better believe it feels the goods. With permanent four-wheel drive to boost traction, a 7-speed PDK gearbox that is easy to use, and optional launch control, it leaves any potential rival in its wake. While the Turbo model is heaps of fun, at around $122,000, it's also the most expensive model in the range. If you want to get into a Porsche for much less money, try the diesel. It costs more like $85,000 and, not surprisingly, is slated to be the most popular variant in the range. And while it might lack the turbo's outright speed, the 190 kilowatt V6 diesel doesn't exactly hang around either. It steps off the line rapidly, which makes it arguably more suited to Australia's lower speed driving conditions and gets much better fuel consumption to boot. For an extra few grand, there's another petrol model called the Macan S, which has a 3 litre turbocharged V6, good for 250 kilowatts of power. It's smooth and sweet, but lacks the headlining abilities of the sharply priced diesel or the powerhouse turbo. Okay, so the Macan is an SUV, meaning there's seating for 5 and quite an amount of luggage space too, even if the back seat is a bit short on legroom. Inside there's plenty of Porscheness, from the button and switch-strewn centre console to the steering wheel that comes straight off the 918 Spider super sports car. But it's also a Porsche, so you'd want to hope it handles better than the average family wagon. The short answer is, it definitely does. Despite being all-wheel drive, the rear wheels are doing most of the work most of the time. With the power available, especially in the turbo, that means lots of adjustability on the throttle to go with plenty of grip and particularly nice steering. It all adds up to an SUV that's fun as well as fast. Air suspension is optional on all 3 models, which gives the ability to alter the ride height, but it also seems to ride better than the conventional sprung cars, which feel a little bumpy. But overall, low levels of noise and the Macan's handy size point to a car that would be very easy to live with. And finally, if you want to go off-road, the Macan can do that too. Push a couple of buttons and you get hill descent control. The traction and suspension systems set themselves up for some dirty work at much lower speeds than on the average autobahn. Well, there's no doubting the Macan is plenty of fun, easily the quickest smaller SUV you're likely to drive. It probably won't give a well-driven 911 a scare, but in terms of performance, handling and even looks, there's every reason to believe it'll be another big winner for Porsche.